Hey everybody, it's Ron Bass with another edition of the Ron Bass Show, your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, dry humor. Mr. Brent Atterbury over here, our Mr. Dry Humor Specialist.
Glad to see you.
Glad to see me. Glad to see anything at my age. I was telling Brett I just left the gym and ran into a good friend of mine who's a martial artist. He's a black belt. And this guy's always great to talk to. He's always so inspirational. He's just a great mentor, somebody that I enjoy being around. He always motivates me, always encourages me. He's been doing it a lot longer than I have, and he's got a big school in Republic, Missouri, which is not too far from our office here, about 10 miles. And he's just a really good person. I talk all the time about mentorship, guys, and how important it is to be around the right kind of people. It's just the whole ball of wax. Where'd that phrase come from, the whole ball of wax?
I guess maybe you never could get the whole ball. You only got just a little bit or a small portion of it. I don't know.
Why would people buy a ball of wax? There must be a reason, like way back in the day.
Yeah, some people maybe only got a half a ball.
What's the point of, why did people buy wax at all?
I don't know.
When I was in college, I bought like cartons of wax because I made sand candles. I rented this little building. It's like a little wooden shed for I think it was like $50 a month, and I built these like an area with, and I put sand in it. It's like a cabinet, and we would poke holes in the sand, so it'd be like 4 or 5 legs, and then we would pour hot wax in it, and it would create a candle. I just not thought about that.
Wow.
It was just sand candles. And I would sell those at
castle.
Yeah, sand castles. And I would sell those at gift stores, at gift shops.
Wow, the entrepreneur, young Ron.
Yeah, I was probably about 18 years old. Isn't that crazy?
The start of your
from there I graduated from that little business to making Walkin Coolers. Oh no, I had a bar. Opened up a club, like a rock and roll club way back in the day. And then after that closed down, I got raided. They shut the place down. It's a pretty wild place. I started making Walkin Coolers in my parents' garage. Yeah, it's another long story. And then I rented a building, and then we just kept doing that. I did that for like 10 years. Went broke doing that. And then my uncle, who was from New York City, was in the manufacturing business, very successful, said, "You got to get in the repair business." Because he had a condominium in Florida, and down in Florida, everything was like, you would hire service companies to come to your home, and they would have contracts, and he said, "That's a really good business to get into." So he gave me like $5,000, and that was the beginning of Same Day Service, which is my home repair company, about 40 years now. And then I started Same Day Jiu-Jitsu and got into the music business, Soar High Records, and then we have Soar High Construction. And so I have 2 brands, Soar High and Same Day. But the reason I'm saying all this is because it all comes back down to who are you surrounded with. So in my case, it was my uncle, who was a very successful business guy, lived in New York City. Here I'm all the way in the Midwest because my dad was in World War II, and he met my mother when he was in training in St. Louis, Missouri. And they moved to Springfield, Missouri, which is about 3 hours away. And that's how I wound up living in Springfield, Missouri. But my uncle stayed in New York because my dad originally was from the Bronx, New York. And so he would come to Springfield periodically, visit with my father. And of course, I got to know him pretty good. And he's very helpful. So that's how I got in the repair business. So you never know who you're going to meet and what kind of relationship you're going to build, but it's very important to nurture good relationships. It's very important to hang out with successful thinking people. And I don't necessarily mean financially successful, just as long as they're progressive, ambitious, and well-meaning, versus the wrong kind of people. I can think of all kinds of examples of the wrong kind of people. I've got a good friend of mine right now going through all kinds of craziness with her ex-husband. She thought maybe getting the divorce was going to solve all these problems, but now her ex-husband's girlfriend is texting her, which is like, rubbing it in, so to speak. making her feel even worse, and more drama. And they're drinking, and they're calling the police on each other, and on and on and on. And I'm saying to myself, wow, man, what's the point of having a relationship if it's not a good relationship?
Yeah.
Now, are you going to have problems maybe in relationships? Sure. Is it worth working it out? Probably, if they're good people, if your partner's a good person. But if she's drinking and drugging and manipulative and trying to make your life hell, get the hell out, man. It's not worth it. I don't care if there's kids involved. I don't care if your mental health is worth more than anything. You were going to say something, I could tell.
No, it just sounds like a new reality show we should go ahead and film and pitch it to the networks.
I like that.
It sounds like people would love to watch that.
By the way, one of our subscribers sent me a message today, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. She said, I think it was a she, said that she had lost her job, and she was really stressed out because she's also involved in studies. I assume maybe school. Some kind of a school scenario. And so she's having a real problem trying to balance between working and studying. And she's really stressed out. So my comment to her, I sent a quick little response, was like, look, there's 24 hours in a day. If you have to divide it up, 8 hours, 8 hours for working, 8 hours for studying, if that's your thing. And you can still sleep 8 hours. I saw an article today about sleeping. It said what's the best way to have better sex? Get a good night's rest. I read all these articles online, so many good articles that you can run across it just on the internet. I don't read a lot of books, but I do read a lot of articles on the internet. So look, my response to your comment is, yes, there's a balance. Yes, you can do both things. If you've lost your job and you need income to support yourself, you're going to have to get another job, for one. But let's say you have a job and you still want to study, go to school, whatever it is you're talking about when you say studies. You can do both. You just have to balance your life out, and you just have to be on a schedule. I tell my friends all the time, I'm on a schedule every day. I go to bed at a certain time. I get up at a certain time. I go to my office at a certain time. I go to the gym at a certain time. I do a podcast at a certain time. I do my martial arts at a certain time. I have some recreation time at a certain time. I eat at a certain time. Now, look, it's not perfect. I'm not saying that I don't, get off that schedule sometimes a little bit here and there. You have to adjust. But by and large, you need a schedule if you want to reach your goals. You have to be disciplined, and you can't let these thoughts run rampant in your head where you just, oh my God, I don't know if I can do all this. It's too much. No, just write it down on a piece of paper and write down the times, and you just have a physical schedule. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what we talk about all the time is setting a goal or goals, and then managing the time to accomplish those goals, because then you're working towards something instead of thinking I've just got to get up and go to work or I've got to study. Make sure you may have to get up earlier, you may have to stay up a little later.
Yes.
But it's important to do both, and once you've got the studies completed, then that's over and you can set another goal. But I know it's today. I normally don't bring this up until the end, but today is National Stress Awareness Day. So,
wow.
So this is perfect.
Perfect.
You're stressed out today. I guess you're supposed to celebrate that.
Well, or at least acknowledge it and be aware of it.
Yes.
Speaking of stress, I always tell our subscribers out there and our listeners that, hey, go to the gym. It's the best way to manage stress. I had a conversation with somebody about that yesterday. It's like, look, my friend at the gym, who's Dr. Jones, she just got her doctorate degree. Very smart young lady. And I told her, I said, look, you're young, you're attractive, you're divorced now. Everybody's encouraging you to date. My suggestion is take a year off. Don't date anybody. Just focus on yourself. Your mental health, your physical health, your daughter, your parents, your dog. And, I have a lot of friendships. And I said, our relationship's very good. We have a great friendship. I respect you. I admire you. You're great to talk to. You're intelligent. You're ambitious. You're successful. And I said, that's the kind of relationship that I think is much more important than at this time in your life having a romantic relationship, because those come and go. But a real solid friendship based on respect isn't going to come and go. It's going to be solid. Now, are you going to have disagreements? Okay, sure, once in a while, but you can get back on that. But it's not a romantic thing. It's based on respect, admiration. And that's, to me, more important than the romance. It's my opinion. It's easy to have romance. All you got to do is hang your shingle out. Where'd that come from? Hang your shingle out.
I've never heard of that.
You haven't heard of that?
No.
I think it's like a sign that, like a shingle's a sign that, hey, I'm available. But it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Anybody can get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It's not that hard. We make it sound like, oh, I got a girlfriend. Oh, I got a boyfriend. Oh, I got a husband. Oh, I got a wife. Come on, man. That's the easiest thing in the world to accomplish. What's not easy to accomplish is to be successful through hard work and effort. Speaking of that, I want to talk about the election. So this is the day after the election in the United States, because I know we have listeners in India and Russia, maybe some other countries. And President Trump, well, he's now president-elect, Trump, did something that's just incredible. He, through all of his trials and tribulations and all the stuff that's been thrown at him, felonies and assassination attempts and being, really put down, he came back and never gave up and won the presidency. That's a remarkable success story. Very inspirational. Even to me, it's extremely inspirational. Talk about mentorship. Whether you like him or you don't like him, I'm just talking about the process that he went through, that he did not give up on himself. He did not give up on his goals. And through all the hell that he went through, he not only got through it, but he succeeded with his goal. Now, if he can do that, guys, we can do anything. Because our goals are obviously not going to be as great as trying to be the president of the United States. That's a very substantial goal. And he did it. Now, is it going to be easy for him to govern? Probably not. He's going to have to go through, still got trials to go through. He's still got sentencing to go through. He's still got a lot of people that just can't stand him and hate him and want to cause him harm. I get it. But he made it. And that's a remarkable thing, in my opinion. Probably one of the most remarkable successes I've ever studied or thought about or ever seen in my entire life. Really, really cool stuff. At any rate, just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And I know not everybody likes him, and that's okay too, but it's still a great example of what I always say, never give up.
Yeah, surround yourself with good people, develop a plan, set goals, and work harder than the other person to get to those goals. And I think that's why a lot of this prevailed.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring to me.
Yeah.
And all my friends that are Democrats that hated him, they're all. I told my friend at the gym today, she voted for Trump, and I said, hey, did you hear, man? There's a long line at the airport. She goes, why? What happened? I go, all the people that are going to leave the country when Trump got elected. And I just can't help but find humor in that. Of course, none of these people are going to do what they said. They're all, because the United States is the greatest country in the world. You can't get that kind of success anywhere else in the world. There might be a few people leave, but it's not going to be anything near by compared to what we were told or what people are saying, in my opinion. Okay, politics and religion are two things you probably don't want to talk about too much, but I just had to throw that out there. Okay, let's see. What are my notes here that I'm reading right now? Hopes, fears, desires. Okay, the con game. People, we talked about this the other day about when you're around the wrong kind of people, they're going to take advantage of you. Hopes, wishes, fears, and desires. This is the way a lot of churches operate. Oh, you're going to go to hell if you don't put money in the box. Hey, I can tell that you're somebody that really wants to succeed in life, and I'm going to do this for you, and I'm going to do that for you, and it's only going to cost you this much. And, you just have to really, really be careful the people that you hang out with. I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, but it's so damn important. People that are con artists prey on people's hopes, fears, desires. It's just the way it is. So you have to be really, really careful who you confide in. Don't you agree, sir?
Yes.
Okay. You talked about National Stress Day. Any other breaking news?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Another Guinness World Record has been broken.
Okay. What this time?
Well, a hotel in the Philippines was awarded a Guinness World Record for the largest building in the shape of a chicken.
Oh, my God.
114 feet, 7 inches tall. It's a 15-room hotel.
The shape of a chicken.
Shape of a chicken.
What would inspire somebody to want to build a property?
There it is.
In the shape of a chicken.
I don't know. Maybe people like to eat chicken nuggets. I don't know.
Oh my
That's kind
gosh.
of the theme.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
I don't know. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I mean,
that's a good one.
So,
which one did come first?
I don't know. In this case, the chicken. I don't know if there's any eggs down there.
So they got the Guinness Book of World Record. Okay.
For the largest building in the shape of a chicken.
The shape of a chicken.
So that could be a new goal for someone to try to build a building bigger than that in shape of a chicken. And also, well, there's a lot of national recognizing categories. Today's National Stress Awareness Day, but it's also National Nachos Day.
Oh, man.
And it's National Saxophone Day.
Well, I like nachos and I like saxophone.
Yeah. Oh, there's the train.
There's the train.
Somebody hit their goal.
Somebody hit their goal.
Yep. There it is.
Every time we hear the train, we and the horn comes off. That's our. We know somebody hit their goal.
Yep. It's a little loud.
It's a loud. Almost as loud as I am at the beginning of each show.
You weren't very loud today.
No, because I thought it through. I had to tone myself down.
What?
I just get so excited when I share information with people. It's so exciting to see people be interested and take this. I don't think it's advice I'm giving. It's more like sharing what has helped me get through my struggles in life. And by sharing, and people that can relate to that and accept it and use it, that's so satisfying. I think that's what life's supposed to be all about, is, lending your experience to others, and hoping that maybe they can have some benefit from that.
Yes. Help others. Be kind. Help others get where they're trying to go. I know there's a national football team I follow that's winning a lot right now, and you can talk about individual players, but they said it takes 11 players to do one play. So it takes all 11. So the chemistry and the camaraderie that they have is a big recipe for their success. And they said, we're always trying to help the next guy get better. And that culture has created this environment of everybody wishing the best for everyone, not individual accolades. So
I love that. That's really good. Well, I guess we'll end on that high note. Unless you've got some breaking news.
Or the train.
Yeah, the train. Unless you've got some more. Unless you've got some words to wisdom.
I don't. I think it's good.
Your whole life is about wisdom.
I think it's good to every once in a while remind everyone why you're doing this podcast.
Well, the idea is that the old Jewish saying is, to help one person is as if to have helped the whole world, or even deeper than that, to save one person's life is as if to have saved the whole world. That's a very, very powerful, deep, philosophical statement or statements. I think about that a lot. And you never know whose life you're touching. You never know what you've said to somebody here and there that sold somebody this and that and down the line. And years later, you might get a phone call from somebody, hey, I just want you to know that 30 years ago, I was blah, 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 and such this and such that, and it saved my life. It turned me into a different kind of person. I'm now able to say that I'm successful at this or that because of that experience or that comment or that conversation or that podcast. Or, man, that's just so deep. I can tell you in my life, there's a handful of people that have definitely made a difference in my life to allow me to become who I've become. kind of a mess. I am, maybe. No, I'm kidding. At times I wonder, though. Life's not perfect by any means, and I've definitely had my ups and downs, but I'm okay with that because you can't put a price tag on experience. You could be dead broke right now, anybody that's listening, but that doesn't mean tomorrow morning you might not have money in the bank, because the knowledge is worth more than anything. The ability to recover, the ability to earn money, the ability to manage struggle. Wow, man, that's so deep. So I guess I'll end on that. And just remember, if you don't give up, never give up, eventually stars are going to line up. And up until that time, and even after that time, the key is stay the course, never give up, and stay positive.